to Where I Long to Be, a magical trip report podcast. My name is Virginia, and I am your host. And this week, I have a new review to share from Elizabeth. Elizabeth's review is titled Step 1, Listen to This. And it says, "This is my second 5-star review for Where I Long to Be podcast, but Virginia's standalone planning episode earns it. This episode is so well put together, and I would recommend it to anyone planning their first Walt Disney World trip. Her step-by-step approach to planning is easily consumable and very helpful. I love her collaboration with travel advisor guests, as their tips help repeat visitors too. For anyone new to Where I Long to Be, start with this episode and then enjoy all the trip reports to gain further insight into the magic of WDW. Well done." Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for that wonderful review. Elizabeth's review was sent directly through my website, which is whereilongtobepodcast.com. And as she said, you can always leave a review there, even if you have left one before, or if you've left one already on the podcast platform of your choice. I really appreciate the wonderful feedback I've been getting on my trip planning episode. So if there are any other topics that people would like to hear me do a deep dive on, please let me know. You can reach out to me through my website via email at whereilongtobepodcast@gmail.com or by DMing me on Instagram. On this week's post-trip report, I am welcoming back Ange, who recently returned from her family trip to Walt Disney World in honor of daughter Audrey's birthday. This family of 5, which includes Ange, her husband Steve, 14-year-old son Nolan, newly 7-year-old daughter Audrey, and youngest son Charlie, who is 4, stayed at Disney's Boardwalk Resort for 2 nights. That should be all you need to know to enjoy this episode, and if you stick it out to the end, you'll hear a special guest appearance from the birthday girl. Without further ado, here's Ange. Welcome back, Ange.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming back and not staying down in Disney, where I know it's your happy place, and you probably would happily stay if somebody gave you the opportunity. How was this trip overall?
Oh, it was so much fun. It was short but perfect, and we had a great time. It was May, so it's a little hotter. You start once May 1st hits, it's a whole different vibe down in Disney, but it was really, really good.
Is this the first time that you've spent someone in your family's birthday at Disney?
My own twice. But for a family member, this was it was my goal to have my daughter wake up there and it be her birthday. So that was special.
Oh, that's so much fun. Did they put happy birthday message on the TV for you when you arrived at the resort?
They did.
Yay. The key to that, folks, if you're listening, is have a special travel agent put in that request for you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's talk through the details. This was a very short but sweet trip. So you typically fly out of Philly because you're in South Jersey, and you had a crack of dawn flight. So how did that go, getting your entire family to the airport on time, parked, ready to go inside and board?
Oh, perfect. So my son woke up and he just kept saying, It's Disney, it's Disney, we're going to Disney. So he was like our hype man. We parked our car at the parking spot, and for 3 nights it was $48, which is pretty reasonable.
Wait, 48 total?
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
Yeah, and then they have the little jitney that takes you to the Philly airport.
Mm-hmm.
The 8th was the first real implemented day of the Real ID.
Yes.
So TSA was already pretty backed up because they actually don't start until 4 a.m. with multiple agents. It opens at 3:45 a.m., but it's one station open essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty backed up.
Did you see anyone who was unaware of the Real ID thing and did not have their passport with them?
I did, and there is a secondary, I guess, form of this going on at the airports where you would have to get your feet dusted, and it's a whole other
what?
It's a whole other thing to prove you're a U.S. citizen, you're traveling domestically. I guess it's they're back up to all of this for security. I can't allow because I think it's very airport to airport on what's going on.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that there was that. Our flight was great. We got in pretty much on time. From there, Jeffrey's private transportation picked us up,
Mhm.
which I love them. It comes in like a nice Suburban with your booster seat, clean, perfect, absolutely zero complaints. He actually, at the time, was picking up multiple other clients of mine that were in Disney as well. So I get everybody's alerts. I have my own and I have everybody else's at all times. I'm like, we're just between strollers and buses and all that fun stuff. Um,
Mhm.
then we got to Boardwalk and it was like right before 10 a.m. So all that happened before 10 a.m. We only had a backpack each, also considered a personal item.
Wait, you only had a backpack each at all? There was nothing else?
No, our flight was $550 for 5 people. We didn't pick seats, so we ended up all together in row 21 on the way there, and actually on the way home we got row 8 without paying for seats.
Wait, how did you get such a good deal on a flight?
I'm a psycho, and it's my job is to know these things. And I hate paying for things that you don't necessarily have to pay for.
Mhm.
So I'm like, you can always pay for it at the airport if you really like had to.
Mhm.
So it's like you may as well not pay for things you don't need per se.
Can I ask, do you have a sweet spot when it comes to booking a flight in terms of how far in advance of a trip you think is, like, the best deals?
It depends on where you're going. Like for Florida, for me in New Jersey, like usually 10 weeks out, I'll start like pricing that,
Mhm.
and then we go from there. But
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I have a friend whose theory, Nancy, her theory is that about 2 months out is the best time to book.
yeah,
But I sometimes question, is there a real trick to it? Or I've also heard, I don't know if this is true, that sometimes when you are searching for these things, it's like it knows that you're looking, and so therefore the price doesn't really go down as much. And so I'm like, should I always be looking in an incognito browser? I am not sure. But
maybe. See, like I use my Expedia Top account, which is like a travel agent Expedia, and I can
mhm.
see at the top like all the days and the pricing. So then
Mhm.
I go through and I'll see like maybe 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. What's the difference? Because sometimes if you add a day, it's actually cheaper. Like right now,
Mhm.
you flew out of Philly to Orlando from October 1st to October 4th. It's 100 per person.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I feel like the Philly people, you seem to get a lot of good deals out of that airport, I've noticed. It makes me a bit jealous. And there are times where I'm like, should I just drive to Philly? But that's so far from New York City to get to an airport.
Like Laura, my agency owner, she's like North Jersey, so she does Newark and then she'll do like AC a lot. Um,
Mhm.
Philly's kind of like awkwardly not near her either.
Mhm.
But Philly's like 10 minutes from me, so it's really ideal.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you made it over to Boardwalk with your just backpacks, which I am astounded by.
Mhm.
Um, and you had plans for Typhoon Lagoon that day. So did you drop your things and immediately head that way?
So we got changed in the bathroom into our bathing suits, and I looked, and the pool's just opening at Boardwalk. So mind you, where we have to get changed is directly in front of the pool. My little guy saw the slide, and he was like, "Can I go on the slide?" So I'm like, okay, so let's just, I'm like, it's fine. We'll like stay here for a little bit and hopefully our room's not that long. Wow. Now everybody's wet. He winds up taking a nap. We never made it to Typhoon Lagoon and our room was not ready until 3, like at perfect check in time. So I was,
Oh.
all right, well, we missed that.
So did he take a nap next to the pool?
Oh, yeah. Like right in
Wow.
there. Yeah. He after he went down the slide 485 times. So
Mhm.
I say
Aw. Well, there's always next time for Typhoon Lagoon.
yeah, we weren't like too heartbroken about it. I feel like when you pay for a deluxe resort too, you want to take in at least
Mhm.
a day, and we knew we weren't going to have that any other day. So we were like,
Right.
enjoy it.
Yeah, and also when they're including something like the water park, if you don't make it there, it's not like it costs you anymore, you
No,
know?
Yeah, it
So,
would be cool, but with all five of us too, it's just a lot of moving, and that's
mm-hmm,
my husband's not a fan of the buses. Um,
mm-hmm,
so I try to make it as easy for no buses for him.
mm-hmm. Okay. Well, once your room was ready, what did you do then? Did you make it out of the resort area to grab dinner that evening? What did your day shape into?
We did. We wound up walking over to Beach Club to just browse around, and then we took the Skyliner over to Riviera. Because I was like, okay, perfect. We can have one of the quick service, meals over at Riviera. They have such nice options. The whole time I'm bragging about Riviera to my kids. I'm like, it's about Walt and Lillian and their time in Europe and this whole thing. We get to Riviera, and my kids are like, well, can we just go back to the boardwalk?
Oh.
Now, Riviera it's very mute.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's beautiful, but it's a very mute resort for kids. So I
Mm-hmm.
they were unimpressed.
Okay. Well, until they stay there.
Yeah, they were unimpressed for now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm very impressed by Riviera. I want that to be on the record.
Love Riviera. Love
Same.
Riviera. Yeah.
I was like, okay, I won't pay for you guys to come here. That's fine.
So you ended up eating there and going back, or you turned around because they were like, we don't want to do this.
Turned around. I walked into the quick service, and they were like, no. And I'm like, they were like, can we just please go have pizza back at Pizza Window? Because Pizza Window is like a staple when we go. My kids all love Pizza Window, and it is fabulous. Shout out to Pizza Window. It is a great option.
I will say it's an affordable option, but I am shocked that you think it is a great option being from Jersey and having access to wonderful pizza.
I don't know. I really do like it. I've never had like maybe I'm always starving though. When you're there as a mom, like I swear you just black out and you're just starving. So like it's so different when I go by myself and like I have to
Mhm.
enjoy things more.
Mhm.
That's even why I did quick service because I'm like, there's just no point.
That's another follow-up question I wanted to ask you. So you decided to do the quick service dining plan for this trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that you don't typically do a dining plan, but this trip you thought it was worth it based on the length of the trip and the fact that the adults taking advantage could get alcoholic beverages with your meals and that sort of thing. So you can make it worth your while. So at the end of the day, were you happy with the quick service dining plan for this particular trip?
Ah! So no, but like it was fine. I felt like I had to do a lot of extra. This is going on the quick service, X, X, and X to make sure
Mhm.
it didn't get used for silly things. Like one time they rang up, like we had an extra chocolate milk and they used a snack credit. And I was like, no, I wanted this to be paid for like separately and then not a part of the quick service. So if you don't know what you're doing,
Mhm.
you can waste your credits like so easily because the granted the quick service lady at Pizza Fari, I wish I remembered the cast member's name. She was very, very thorough, and you could tell she knew how to approach people ordering with the quick service plan.
Mhm.
Also, I made sure every single time I said, I'm ordering with the quick service plan X, X, and X. Um,
Mhm.
so I definitely feel like versus the dining plan, you had to be very much more vocal about it.
Okay. All right. So not only understand the plan, what comes with it, and what you want to use, but advocate for yourself and what you're trying to do.
For sure, for sure.
Okay.
And you can't blame them. Like they have so much going on when they're bringing people in. You just have to be very specific, and
Hmm.
they're more than accommodating.
Yeah. How did it work out with getting the adult beverages with your meals? Was that easy enough to do while you were ordering? Because it's
Oh,
mostly just like canned things or like draft beers, right? It's not like a full
uh,
service bar.
no, it depends on what if you're like in the parks and if it's a quick service that has like fun alcoholic beverages, you can order one of them. You can order anything on the menu drink wise.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
which was cool. Like, no, we definitely took advantage of it, and it's any adult like meal listed on the reservation. Like, if I'm ordering, it's
Got it.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was actually we got to have drinks for all of his meals too, if we wanted. So that's kind of a big bonus. That's like another
Okay.
$40 to $50 worth of drinks.
That makes a lot of sense, and when I've listened to people do the math on the dining plan, like, a lot of what you hear is, like, especially for kids that are older, that are 10 or older, who are considered adults by Disney standards, to have to pay that same price, but they can't get the beverages that come with it, like, getting the value out of it, but it has never occurred to me once that the other adults in the
Just
party who
order
are
it.
true adults could to take advantage of that. So that actually is really good to know.
Yeah, for sure. It was like you want to just like I said, they're all credits. That's what it is. So he got
Mhm.
charged as an adult. As he's not going to take the alcoholic beverage. I am, but he
Right.
food. Like you know what I mean.
Right.
It doesn't
Right.
matter. That money got spent.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Very good to know.
Now,
All right.
and I'd have to be. I'd be interested because when he orders, he'd be ordering for himself. So I don't think it would work the same in that case at like a sit down dining reservation.
Mhm. Yeah.
To be continued.
Okay. I mean, now we have a science experiment. You
Yeah.
need to find a client who's using the dining plan and get them to get that answer.
Yes. Yes, because it's worth asking. I mean, why not?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because you're right. You've paid for X amount of food and drinks, and just because the person is too young doesn't mean that someone else shouldn't be able to
Yes,
utilize that.
parent who paid for the trip.
Right, exactly. I mean, you never know. Maybe there's a kid out there who's been raising money at a lemonade stand or something, but
Perhaps. It's a lot of lemonade, but perhaps.
all right. So after your dinner, did you do anything else, or did you try to get to bed early for your park
We
time the next day?
bed early because I knew the next day was going to kick our butt. It was a
Mhm.
rope drop over to Hollywood Studios.
Okay. Did you walk to do rope drop the next morning, considering your location?
We did.
Okay. All right. Not a bad walk at all.
No, it's like 15 minutes tops. It's not
Yeah. Yeah. What was the first thing you headed for once you
Toy
got there?
Story Land. And there was a very, very large group of people being held off because they were not resort guests. And they do
Mhm.
scan you in the front of Toy Story Land.
Mhm. Okay. How long did you end up having to wait for Slinky Dog? And correct me if I'm wrong, this was the first time for all of you to ride Slinky Dog because now all 3 kids are tall enough.
So I have rode it with my oldest son, but other than that, everybody else, it was brand new. But actually, when we got into the park, we rope dropped Toy Story Mania uh,
Oh, okay.
because there was no wait, and I was able to set up a DOS pass for my son for Slinky for Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How many people get in on the DAS pass?
So the generic answer is going to be the person plus three, but because
Mhm.
we're an immediate family of five, they did make an exception since it's three children.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if they always would make that exception. They did make it for my family.
To get that exception, did you have to talk to someone at a Blue Umbrella for guest experience to
I
ask
didn't.
about that?
No, I didn't. They granted me it during my interview with my son. They made
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, good to know. All right. So it's not like you're going to go into the situation like not knowing what's going to happen. You probably should be able to get that sorted out during the interview.
Yeah, no, we definitely. It was a very very nice system. They were great to Charlie. For Charlie, it worked perfectly throughout the trip because
Mhm.
after Slinky, he pretty much was a little scared of a lot of rides. So
Mm. It's bigger than you think it is.
for sure. Oh yeah, okay. Audrey wanted it noted on the record that it hurt her belly a little bit. So
Yes.
yes, the drops loopy part. She didn't.
Mhm. Oh, the where it goes
Yes,
ba-doom,
yeah,
ba-doom, ba-doom.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it's surprisingly a big coaster considering what it looks like from the outside, but it goes very high. So,
for sure.
yeah. All right. Well, what did you do after that?
So after that, we met Jesse and Woody.
Mhm.
ran to Galaxy's Edge Star Wars area for a black calf cold brew, the spiked version. They,
Wait, what did they spike it with? Is it rum?
I think Kahlua and something else. Like it's coffee-esque, so
Okay. All right.
I'm an ex-bartender too. I probably should know that answer. I don't even care. It's my favorite. I chug at least one a trip. So
Mhm.
worth it. Mom fuel. It's my vacation too, and it's fun. And then I ran back just in time to meet Jesse and Woody, and then we all headed over to Mickey Minnie's Runaway Railway.
Were you making these other things on the DAS pass, or were you doing standby, or how is that working?
The DAS pass for us this trip to just make sure we're maximizing time, and we're because you have 5 people, it's always more time
Mhm.
consuming. The larger your group, the more time consuming everything is.
Oh, yeah. Even just getting to walk the same
Yeah,
direction and like,
yeah,
okay, I need to use the bathroom. Okay, that means everybody has to go and
yeah.
yeah.
That's the whole thing. But we love Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. Charlie did have a lot of fun on that. Audrey had fun on that. And then right after we got off, it was like down for 30 minutes. So
Oh, okay.
we got
That was lucky.
yeah, we got lucky. So then we went and saw Sorcerer Mickey and the beautiful Minnie at that meet and greet. Minnie loved my older son a lot, and Sorcerer Mickey
Mhm.
gave my daughter a kiss. They were very, very, very silly, Mickey and Minnie. But my kids always love that. I love when characters really go out of their way to make it so much fun and personal, like because that's what they remember. Like that's the
Right.
magic. So it was awesome.
That's cool. I've never done that particular meet and greet before, but I do love Sorcerer Mickey. So,
So cute, so worth it. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Did you end up heading over to Rock and Roller Coaster? Because I think you said that Steve and Nolan wanted to do that together.
We did, and unfortunately, we were like, well, it was getting really hot.
Mm.
So we're like, all right, let's regroup and go to Epcot. Like, let's stop at the resort. We'll get dressed, like, redressed if anybody's super sweaty, which my daughter wanted to get out of her very, very beautiful dress from the Flamingo Boutique, just because of the straps and her shoulders got a little burnt.
Mm.
But it was beautiful. Everybody loved that dress. So we got changed. We went over to Epcot, which is now an inferno. We saw in the UK. If anybody's been in Epcot between the hours of 1 to 3, it's painful in the summer. So just beware. So yeah, we went and saw Alice. We were sweating. I think I don't even remember honestly what we did. Oh, we went on Frozen. That's what
Okay.
we went on Frozen.
Did it make you feel any cooler?
It did, and then then we went and saw Jasmine, and then we were like, I think we just need to go swimming.
How hot was it?
It was like 90. On that Friday, May the 9th, it was like 90 and it was humid. It was tight. It was tight.
Yeah, and the humidity definitely makes a difference, and then also, it has not been particularly hot in the Northeast yet, and so that makes a difference to me as well, is if you have not reacclimated to what it means to be in summer yet. So, your
No.
body's just kinda like, "Oh, yes, this is what hot is."
Yeah, no, for sure. It was hot. And then so we took a break and then we went back and we just kind of like took our time around Epcot. We did Frozen one
Mhm,
time and we watched the fireworks and we called it a day. Had some snacks,
mhm.
had some drinks, and then just headed back to the resort and crashed because that's a very long time.
Yeah, and how nice is it to walk out of International Gateway and be at home in, like, 5 minutes?
I can't stress it. We stay pretty much there every single time for maximum family happiness.
Mhm. Yeah. It makes a huge difference, like, when you've had a long and hot day like that, the thought of getting on to a bus and trying to get back to your resort and, you do it because you have to, but you will be significantly happier if you can just walk out to your resort, or if you are at Magic Kingdom, you can just monorail back to your resort. And I realize as I'm saying this that this is an incredibly privileged point of view to have. And how lucky am I? How lucky are you that we have been able to stay at resorts like that? So I just want to acknowledge that.
For sure. Like, and even if you need other options, Art of Animation, Pop Century. All the Skyliner
Mhm.
resorts are going to give you a more maximum feeling as well without the deluxe
Sure.
bag. But no, getting to just walk home when you're tired, it really is. It's a game changer, especially when you have a ton of kids with you, who are
Yeah.
cranky and all the fun things.
All right, that brings us to your last day, which was an Animal Kingdom day before you had an evening flight. Animal Kingdom is always the first park open. So, given how long your day was the day before and how much you were doing, what time did you actually end up getting out of the resort in the morning to head over to Animal Kingdom?
We were on the bus by 8:30, like bags checked because we were, leaving the resort essentially. So we put them with guest services, and
Hmm.
we were at Animal Kingdom by like a little after 9, I guess. When all said and done, we went on the Avatar ride first, the Navi River ride.
Hmm. Hmm. Which when you go there in the morning, there's not too much of a wait, but it can really build up a line during the day. So getting it when you can.
Yeah, no, it was like I think it was already at like 35 to 40 minutes.
Oh, did you actually end up waiting that long, or
No,
was it just posted
we had
later?
to pass. No, we didn't have to wait.
Okay.
Um, I didn't have to. Thanks, Charlie. Shout out to Charlie again. Um, He liked to scan in. He really took that upon himself to make sure he scanned in, and he
Mhm.
told how many were in his party. So he really,
Okay. Good for him.
yeah. So then we split up because at this point you have to imagine my teenager wants like nothing more than a roller coaster or like something. It's been a lot of character meet and greets at this point. So him and my husband just went to go do the standby over at Everest, and
Mhm.
I took the littles to go meet Moana, and then I took them with me over to the Travel Agent Appreciation Station um, to go get a Mickey ice cream bar, and over there they had a lot of fun things for travel advisors. They got a special photo op that was covered. Ice cream bars, pretzels, water bottles, fun little trinkets that just say like Disney travel professionals or Disney appreciates travel advisors.
Mhm.
So it's a very nice thank you every May that they've been doing since last year.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Where did they do that at?
It's like right across from Feathered Friends or that with the bird show there.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, okay.
and then my son, that's where he became a wilderness explorer. It's where he got his official book and
Mhm.
became badges. So that
Mhm.
was fun.
He took his oath.
He did. And then he became an official wilderness explorer for the rest of the trip.
Did you visit a lot of the Wilderness Explorer booths?
We did. And he didn't get the last like 5, I think, but he did pretty good considering the time he got it to when we had to leave.
Mhm. Yeah, and the good thing about that is you can totally bring it back and just continue your experience the next time you're there.
That's what he told himself and everybody else. So he was good. And then, other than that, we had lunch.
Where did you have lunch?
Just pizza fari, nothing wild. We finished up some of the last of our quick
I
services.
mean, I don't know, Ange, Pizza Safari is pretty wild.
It is. It wasn't like
Have you seen their logo? There's like
yeah.
animal print. And
Once again when you're hot and you're with kids, I feel like it's just so hard to even think about like that. That was the only thing with quick service. It was like if you're not near it, you're like I just
right.
something and we have to keep moving.
Hmm.
A little bit less thought per se.
Um, I need to ask you a travel agent question that I hope you will know the answer to. When you have the dining plan or the quick service plan, can you use mobile order?
Yeah. I think in the app, like you would click. I didn't do it while I was there because I'm not a big mobile order person.
Mm,
Um, but I believe it should pop up like, what you're paying with.
okay, because I'm a huge mobile order person. Like if there's an opportunity to mobile order, I am doing it. What was after lunch?
So we just went and we met Pocahontas, and then we had to like be on our way because at that point it's already like 3 o'clock, and we had to finish it up.
Oh, you said you left your things back at Bell Service. So you did have to go back before Jeffries picked you up again to take you to the airport.
Yep, and
Okay.
stopped by. We picked up everything, and then we got changed, and that was it.
How was the return flight? Did everything go on time?
Everything went on time. The only like super sad part was like my son like got emotional about leaving because he really
Oh.
loved it. and one of the cast members in the lobby, his name was Jeremy, wound up taking his time and turning on the tiny carousel. Well, it
Oh.
was with their magic. They turned on the tiny carousel. So that
Mhm.
got to him, and he stopped crying, and he seemed like he was good and he was ready to go. My daughter actually wanted me to tell you that part.
Aw, that's really sweet. You gotta love those cast members. They are amazing.
Yeah, they're the best.
Final question for you, and is you're back from this trip, it's over. When is the next time that you personally will be going?
I see right now a little unwritten. It's a little
Mhm.
unwritten. Like my mom and my husband always say that something's on the horizon. They're just waiting for me to say.
to, to tell them
Yeah,
what it is.
tell them. So my husband's always like, "Can I just not be the last one to know this time?"
It's
I'm
like
like,
that TikTok trend where it's like, "Hi, I'm Ange. I booked the flights. Hi, I'm Ange. I booked the hotel." And it's like, "Hi, I'm Steve." And then that's
for
like I show up.
sure, for sure. He's just like, "Please, next time, can you just like let me know before everyone
Yeah.
does?" Usually, Audrey
Yeah.
is my first one, right?
Oh, is she your partner in crime for trip
Yeah.
planning?
Like we can't say anything to anybody until like I know I can like afford it or whatever, or like the flights, and you have to just make sure all your ducks are in a row.
Right. Alex, who just came into the room, is I don't know if he heard me. He's my partner in crime when it comes
Yeah.
to the trips. Yeah, he likes to try to distract me at night when I'm saying it's time for you to go to bed. He's like, "Do you want to talk Disney? Do you want to talk about our next trip? What are you looking forward to?" And he starts
uh,
and he knows, like, I try to resist. I'm like, "No, no, no, go to bed." And then I'm like, "But I really want to try this new restaurant."
that's
I
awesome. Oh,
can't help myself. All right. And it has been so much fun talking with you. Thank you so much for coming on. And I hope that you will come back again in the future.
yes, thank you for having us and having us on tonight.
Special guest, Audrey, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So you're 7 years old now.
Yes,
Do you feel 7 years old?
yes,
Does it feel much different from 6?
yes.
How does it feel different?
Mm, it's a higher number.
That is true. That is true. So, how was your birthday trip overall? Did you have a fantastic time?
Yes.
Okay. What was your favorite part of everything of this whole trip?
My favorite part was when I was next to my daddy on the Frozen ride.
Oh, the one in Epcot, right?
Yes,
Okay. You've done that one before, though, right?
yes.
Okay. Do you always ride next to Daddy?
Mm, no, not really.
You like to switch it up?
Yes.
Okay. I know that because this was your birthday trip, you might have done some special things that were just because it was your birthday. What kind of special things did you get to do?
I got to go swimming.
In the pool at the boardwalk?
Yes,
Okay. Did you go down the slide?
yes.
How many times did you go down the slide?
I feel like 100 times with my brother.
I thought that might be the case, that maybe it was so many times you could barely even count. That slide is a lot of fun. I like that one.
Yes, me too.
Did you have nice sunny weather?
Yes,
Okay, so perfect for going into the pool if it's really hot and you want to cool down, right?
yes.
Last question. Did you have any cake on this trip?
No.
No. No cake, no cupcake?
Brownie.
Oh, a birthday brownie. Okay. All right. A plain brownie, or was it one of the ones that has special stuff on top like M&Ms or marshmallows or stuff like that?
It has Mickey sprinkles.
Oh, perfect. I love it. I love it. I said that was the last question, but I thought of another question I wanted to ask you.
Okay.
Did did you wear a birthday button while you were there?
Yes.
I bet you had so many people wishing you happy birthday.
Yes.
Isn't that fun?
Yes.
I wore one when it was my birthday and I was down at Disney a couple of years ago. And it was so much fun that not only did the people who worked at Disney wish me happy birthday, but lots of just nice strangers did too.
Ooh.
And you don't seem shy, so I bet you enjoyed having everybody talk to you.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I wish you a very happy birthday. You are a beautiful 7-year-old, and I hope that this year is the best year you've had so far.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
All right.
you.
Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you again to Ange and to birthday girl Audrey for joining me on the show. I had a lot of fun talking with you both, and I think Audrey definitely has a future as a Disney travel planner. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to rate it on Spotify or rate and review it on Apple Podcast. And as mentioned at the beginning of today's episode, you can always leave a review directly through my website, which again is whereilongtobepodcast.com. That is all for today. Thank you all so much for listening and for your support. And as always, keep daydreaming about where you long to be.